Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another Sheffield United Way match reaction. I've just been to Stoke and watched us lose 1-0 at the Bet365 Stadium. Oh, tough one to talk about. Tough one to come away from that match and try and find many things to really say about it. What I will say from, before the match, really enjoyed seeing Panchero again, meeting Debbat for the first time from Tufty Club. That was enjoyable. Meeting Hal again. Well, seeing Hal, I went to the game with Hal, but obviously we're from two completely different sides of the country. Always nice to go with Hal and enjoy the match, speaking to him, and it's always just nice, just sat next to somebody that like you can just talk football with. To be honest, it always is. And no, other than that, nothing else went our way today. We didn't really enjoy anything. Like, as you can see on my chest, Tufty Club sticker representing the boys. So yeah, I went to the pub, had a pint, enjoyed it. Couldn't have too many because obviously I was driving, so I had one and that was it. We went to the game. Nothing. What have I got to say about that game? We did absolutely nothing. I was trying to pick out some positives, but it was like a Slav performance. It really was. We were slow in possession. Nice little intricate football on the halfway line, but nothing in and around the box. Nobody making any runs. I think the thing is, when you see that we've got Jebo starting up front and Will Asula on the bench, no disrespect to either of them, but they are very young, inexperienced lads. And when you've got Jebo leading the line on his own, and then you've got Morgan Gibbs-White just off him, who's played 2 games midweek for England under 21s, it was only going to go one way, wasn't it? We barely created anything. I think, really, Reece Norrington-Davies in that first half in first half and the second half, it was all him down the wing. He either put in a half-decent cross that we nearly did something with, or he put in a terrible cross that was never going to come to anything. But saying all that, we had most of the ball in the first half, or we had a lot of possession, I'll say, without doing a lot with it. Stoke, I wouldn't say played on the break, definitely not. But they did break away a few times, and Jacob Brown messed it up, smashing it over the bar a couple of times. And they didn't really pose much of a threat, even though they got into some good positions where they probably should have done better with. They got into much better positions than we did all game. Really in that first half, the only thing that happened that was quite exciting was the referee getting hit in the face with the ball. I didn't know where it hit him, to be honest. I assumed it was in the face, but he stayed down forever. And I'm thinking, what's happened here? Because really, it wasn't a shot or anything. I think it was a pass that a United player did, and it hit him in the face. Like, there wasn't much to it. He stayed down for what seemed about 5 minutes. So yeah, that was a little bit funny, but obviously we don't want him to be hurt. But yeah, like I said, other than that, Morgan Gibbs-White had a dribbling kind of poke shot that just went wide. It didn't ever look like it was going in. Also, we had one early on in the game where he got played through and he looked really bright and then just kind of, again, just poked it wide with the outside of his foot, nowhere near the goal. I watched him in midweek as well for England, and I thought he was really good. But the thing is, he's playing with better players, let's be honest. He's playing with more attack-minded, creative, exciting players for England under 21s. It's really just him for United, it seems, right now. Obviously, Ndiaye came on in the second half, but God, Ndiaye had a really torrid second half, to be honest. The first 2 things that he did were awful, really awful. We'll get into that, though. But we are into the second half here. We might as well. We're literally 5 minutes into the video, and we're already into the second half. We came out fighting a little bit. I thought we were the better team when we came out, but not for long. not for long at all. I thought Stoke were half decent at defending in the middle, and then the final ball. Actually, the final ball was quite good a few times, but Maja missed one really, really good chance. There were lots of balls that were played across the box that they were missing, either putting the ball wide or completely missing the ball altogether. Obviously, we were at the other side of the ground. So in the second half, I couldn't quite see what was going on. But no, they did quite well up until putting the ball in the back of the net. But then they did. They put the ball in the back of the net. It was Ben Davies got slipped in behind. Their player got slipped in behind Ben Davies. Ben Davies was almost like, oh, God, I can't believe I let that happen. I thought Ben Davies had a cracking game today until that point, to be honest. He kind of was in a world of his own. And then Egan's having to come across, and Egan's always last line of defence. He comes across to try and sort things out. And again, it would have been a penalty if it wasn't, if it didn't go in the back of the net, because Egan's got his arm outstretched here. It's in an unnatural position, and he's diverted it with his arm into the back of the net. He obviously didn't mean to do that. He didn't mean to kind of have his arm in an unnatural position. It's just sometimes it happens. But yeah, deflects it past Wes. That's the only way they were going to score, I think, because I think actually Stoke were pretty poor in that final third. They were just a million times better than we were, which says a lot. But before that, way before that, we had one massive penalty shout. And I'll be honest, I think this is the most stonewall penalty I've seen for Sheffield United in quite a long time, to be honest. 𝐍𝐸 gets down the left-hand side. He's in the box. He's looking to play the ball into the box, and there's absolutely no one there. There's literally no one there. So their player does not need to do this. He dives in. He clips 𝐍𝐸. He goes to ground. We were like, that's a penalty. Well, that is definitely a penalty. And the referee just waves play on. Gives a goal kick. And I was absolutely flabbergasted watching that, because we couldn't have been in a better position. Well, actually, the referee was in a fantastic position as well to give that, but we were in such a great position. All I can think of is that 𝐍𝐸 went down in a bit over the top. I don't think he even did, though. I really don't. But he went down. Yeah, all right. He went down because he got caught. He got brought down, so he went down. And I don't think it was over the top at all. But he was getting round the back. He was he could have easily come inside and found someone, and we could have scored. But their player brings him down. That is a stonewall penalty, not given. And then we go and get beaten by a really, really poor goal to concede. Ball behind Ben Davies. He shouldn't be letting that go through there. He should be focused. He should be expecting players to make runs. Now, I know that sounds daft because our players don't seem to make any runs in behind. But believe it or not, some football teams do run in behind. But yeah, the penalty not being given, us playing rubbish, and also Stoke getting a deflected goal. It wasn't a great day. It really wasn't. I'll just quickly talk about a few players because this is not going to be a long video. Mostly because I didn't write any notes, because I got about 25 minutes into the game. I'm like, I'm not writing any notes here. Like, nothing's really happened. I was going to write about the referee. Like, the referee got hit in the face and he went down for ages, but I thought I'll remember that. And really, not much happened. We really tried to push them towards the end, but we literally left it until the 90th minute to really go for it. Obviously, there just wasn't enough time. And it really, really kind of was the icing on the cake when Bulldog, with a second to go, gets the ball on that right-hand side, like inside the box. All he has to do is hit a hard, low cross, hoping that one of our players will get on the end of it, or it'll hit a defender, or the goalkeeper He'll get deflected past him, and he just smashes it as hard as he can, but with a bit of lift on it, and it just flies. It just absolutely flies. No one anywhere near it. Obviously, George is going to be devastated about that because George, you can tell George cares. Unlike some players, to be honest, today, it did look like a lot of them were sauntering around. I feel like when Gibbs-White went off, for me, that was it. Like, I know Gibbs-White didn't have a great day, but when Gibbs-White goes off, I just feel like there's no creativity. There's no goals. We're not going to score a goal when Gibbs-White's not playing unless we've got kind of Billy Sharp or Ndai playing out of his skin or Berger playing out of his skin. Morgan Gibbs-White is the only player that can not play too well and then turn it on and just do something special. And when he goes off, yeah, you just feel like nothing's going to come of it. Stoke defended really well. Don't get me wrong. They really, really did. Lots and lots of last-ditch blocking, throwing themselves at balls. And that's what you want as a fan. You want your team to be dying for the cause. You want them to be dedicated. You want them to be throwing themselves at shots. We just weren't good enough to unpick that defense really, and that defensive unit, including their midfield. I'll quickly go through some of the players, not all of them. Reece Norrington-Davies, I don't actually think he had a bad game today. He got forward quite well at times. A lot of his crosses in the first half were pretty poor, but he got better as the game went on. I thought that Robinson had a worse game today. He did a couple of really poor things, Robinson. Nothing that led to a goal, but at least one of them could have been. Egan, at one stage in that first half, I think it was Jacob Brown was running through and he threw himself at the ball and almost like went past it. It was like a comedy sketch or something. He slid in for the ball and literally got nowhere near it and just slid straight past him. But no, Egan, other than that, was pretty steady to a certain extent. Obviously, the ball came off him and went into the back of the net. And that's a cross. It's not a shot. So it's going to go down as an Egan on goal, which is never great to see. I thought Fleck had a pretty good game today. Fleck looked a bit more like his old self. I thought Sander Berger had a decent game as well. He definitely tries to step it up when Gibbs-White goes off, but it was playing it was playing in more of a kind of defensive midfield role today. Way not close enough to be kind of pushing us forward and getting us attacking and kind of getting into good positions to create chances and have a few shots. I wanted him to have a few shots on the edge of the box today. He looked like he was going to pull the trigger a few times and then didn't and decided to pass it out wide or whatever. I just want to see Sander have a shot, to be honest. And the thing was, when he was on the edge of the box, looking like he's going to shoot and then lays it out wide, it's like, I'd rather see him have a shot because that could go anywhere. He could hit the shot of his life and it could hit top bins. He could... I don't know, the keeper could make a mistake. It could hit a defender and go in like what happened with John Egan. Anything could happen. And if you don't shoot, you don't score goals. And yeah, we can cross and cross and cross and cross. But if you don't shoot, you don't score goals. Jebo had one that was played back to him on the edge of the box. He didn't kind of swipe at it. He took his time. He took a touch. He tried to curl it and it got blocked, like every shot pretty much that we had today. He said earlier, I think he said that we had 10 attempts. It did not feel like that at all. But they did get a lot of blocks in. Like I said, some of them may be deemed as attempts or deemed as shots. But yeah, just a poor all-round performance. What I will say is I thought Will Asula really, really put himself about when he came on. It wasn't Jebo's day today. I was a little bit disappointed with his output, really. But the thing is, Jebo's been playing in a 2 for Burton. We've played for years as a 2. And Billy Sharp is smart enough and experienced enough to play as a 1 up front with Morgan Gibbs-White floating around him and stuff. But when you're asking a young lad who's not used to playing 1 up front on his own, to lead the line. It's pretty harsh. So I don't want to give Jebo too much stick tonight, but I really want to give 𝐍𝐸𝐵𝐲 a lot of praise for coming on. As soon as he came on, he was battling. He was trying to make things happen. He's raw. He's a raw talent. He's a young raw talent. He's obviously going to get knocked off the ball from time to time, but it's nice to see him. You never know. We might see more of him next season as well. But no, exciting prospect. He really was. And then really, I think it was Ben Osborne had one really, really good opportunity where the ball, I think it was a corner or something, it came out to him. He took it down on the chest, I believe, and hit it on like kind of the half volley. And it looked like from where I was sat that could nestle in the top corner, but it didn't. It went past the post. And that was really all she wrote. It was a pretty poor game to watch. Not the best game to go and watch. I was in Stoke last weekend for a weekend away, and then I was in Stoke this weekend. The weekend before was a lot more fun. I'll put it that way. We went to the Monkey Forest, which was fantastic, and then today we watched that drivel. Anyway, let's get into the comments. Stoke were denied a Stonewall penalty as well. Quieted 3,000 away supporters. All right, okay. Yep, sound. I don't know about that. I was the other side of the ground to where Stoke's Stonewall penalty was. Left-footed player at right centre-back, an international defender, left on the bench. You're not wrong, Anthony. I would have had him playing there, no doubt whatsoever. He would have wanted to impress as well, wouldn't he? I thought Ben Davies did have a decent game, but in the next game, what I would do, I would play Reece Norrington-Davies left wing back. I would play Ben Davies at left centre back, and then I would play Aremovic at right centre back. No doubt about it whatsoever. Martin says, awful performance today. Our players were so static and everything we did was far too slow. Preach, Martin. Preach, mate. That's exactly how I saw it. And I likened it to a Slav performance on Twitter. Got a lot of stick for it for some reason. But the reason why I said that was because, like Martin's just said, very slow, very static, not a lot of movement. The only movement really was on the halfway line when we were playing little 1-2s, give and goes. And it's like, do that on the edge of their box, not on the halfway line. We can't win away from home, forget the playoffs. I think Chris has got a good point. We haven't won away from home for 5 games. I think we've drawn a couple and maybe lost 3. We lost today, lost against Coventry. I can't remember what the other one now is, but it's poor. You can't get into the playoffs if you can't win away from home. And we're not going to win every single game at home too. We're not going to do that. Like, we might win 4, we might win 3, but we're not going to win 5 games at home. The away form needs to improve. Where is Billy? We don't know, mate. We don't know. Nice to watch a pre-season friendly already. It's a good point. It's a really, really good point. It did feel like that. It felt like Mansfield away, didn't it? Or something like that, or Chesterfield away. It really was pedestrian, to say the least. Every Sheffield United player takes 1 touch too many before they shoot, cross, get tackled, dive this season. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I totally agree. We don't shoot at all. Very poor performance all round. Don't want to be too negative, but the competition for playoffs is really hotting up and we really need to be more consistent. You, again, you're not wrong. Like, nobody's saying anything wrong at all. So right now, I've not looked at the table. I didn't really want to look at it, but we are 8th right now. We've played 39. We've played 2 more games than Forest and we're on the same amount of points and a worse goal difference. We've played 1 less than Middlesbrough and they're a point in front. Sorry, we played 1 more than Middlesbrough and they're a point in front of us. It's not good. It's really, really not good. And today, the results have really not gone our way. So Forest smashing Blackpool that we couldn't beat. Blackburn drawing, not too bad. Luton drawing, not too bad, but Luton were losing. Middlesbrough going to Peterborough and smashing them. QPR have lost, which is something, but QPR are on a downwards trajectory at the moment. So Blackburn and QPR, they're two teams that I expected to fall out of it. And unfortunately, it's looking like we possibly could be falling out of it too. We've fallen out of the playoff places as of right now. Let's see if our home form can take us through, but we need to improve. We really, really do. And actually, we need Billy Sharp back. I don't know where Sharpie was. Obviously, he picked up an injury against Barnsley. He's obviously not shook that off, but I thought he'd at least be on the bench. I don't know what's happened with McBurney either, because McBurney wasn't. McBurney would have started today. No idea what's happened with him, but it's not good. We started the season with 7 or 8 strikers. We're ending it with 2 youngsters, which one of those were the 7 or 8. That was Jebo. But just the fact that we've got no strikers is just laughable, really. Loads of injuries, loads of Sharp injured, Ollie McBurney injured. You could even go to as far as saying Ollie Burke injured. He went to Millwall and he's injured. Jebo, Didsey injured. Brewster injured. That's 5 already, just off the top of my dome. Only showed any real intent in the last 15 minutes. Other than that, pretty dull. I don't even think it was that, mate. I think we were shell-shocked after they scored and we couldn't even get out of our own half. And then towards it, I think it was the last 5, if not 90 and onwards. We have Bournemouth and Fulham as well. We do, but both of those 2 teams could be on the beach soon because they're both pretty much they're pretty much up, aren't they? Let's be honest, especially Fulham. Although I'd love to finish in the playoffs, that would be 2 more away games to gain promotion, and I can't see it working out. Yeah, no, neither can I. Sad to say, I think the players have reverted to the effort and attitude they had last season under Wilder and under Slav. You might not be wrong there. Try hard for the new manager and then lays around. It's a good point. They're all good points. We have to keep the faith. We'll make it on from here. Let's hope so, Michael. Let's hope so. I think that's from John is a good point as well. Lots and lots of injuries have happened. Some have actually happened most of them really have happened while they're playing. So I don't know whether it is all on the training pitch, but it's certainly not good, the training pitch. And the players are really kind of feeling that from kind of running on it, turning on it. It's not good. It's not a good training pitch by all accounts. Anyway, let's leave it there, guys. I'm devastated. I'm going to be honest. I've been really negative in this game. I'm sorry, but you know when you've travelled to an away game, whether it be only like an hour and a half away, like Stoke is, or when I went to Luton, whatever, 2.5 hours or whatever it is, 3 hours, it still hurts them the same. Like unless it's like Barnsley or Rotherham or somewhere like that, it still hurts the same. Kind of going all the way somewhere and come and losing, having to drive home or having to get the minibus home. Like it's just I hate it. I hate it so much. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. Make sure you like the video before you go. It really helps the videos out. And there'll be 2 very, very good videos tomorrow. One, a fans react, and also a vlog with myself and Hal from this game. So make sure you enjoy those ones. Thanks a lot. See you next time.